Okay, hey everyone, my name is Mike Swanson, and I want to talk about the myth of Sisyphus and the double-mind condition that I found within this Greek story. So, for some background information, if you aren't familiar with the Greek myth of Sisyphus, Sisyphus was a Greek man during ancient Greece, and he had cheated death twice before, and the third time he encountered death, he did end up dying. And as punishment for cheating death twice, the god of Hades, or the god of death, Hades, punished him by putting him in a situation where he had to push a boulder up a steep hill for eternity. If, however, he could push the boulder up the entire cliff, he would be granted an opportunity to return to the world of living. However, the boulder was cursed, so every time he reached close to the top, the boulder would become significantly more heavy, and it would roll all the way back down to the bottom. So in this situation, he is tormented with forever having hope of escaping, but never actually being able to escape. So his escape is basically impossible. So this brings up the idea of absurdism. Is there any meaning behind pushing the boulder if he can never truly reach the top? There's a famous French philosopher named Albert Camus who wrote an essay called The Myth of Sisyphus, comparing the idea between pushing the boulder with Sisyphus to human life. If there is no way to truly obtain his goal, is there any purpose in pushing it? Is there any purpose to the journey if the destination is unattainable? He calls this the absurd world, and in this story, Sisyphus is an absurd hero. So going beyond the myth, we can compare the story of Sisyphus, the idea of pushing this boulder, to possibly the idea of human life. If we don't know for sure if there is a possibility of an ultimate goal or meaning, is there any point in these steps of life if the goal is unattainable? The monotonous and sometimes repetitive feelings of daily life can feel meaningless in the grand scheme of the universe. So, just like Sisyphus pushing the boulder, sometimes our small actions feel pointless from the outside perspective. So, this is the double-mind condition in the myth of Sisyphus. Quite frankly, it is there a meaning of life? And if there is, does it matter towards how you live your life? Should Sisyphus continue pushing the boulder whether he can or cannot attain reaching the top? So, the idea is, on one hand, there is some predetermined ultimate meaning behind all of our actions, or there is no predetermined meaning, and instead we must choose for ourselves what our own purpose is. On the first level, it seems very exclusive, like there can only be either one meaning or there's no meaning. But I do believe for most people, we can believe in an ultimate meaning, but also come to terms or accept that if there isn't one, we can find our own meaning. So, this is the human struggle within this double mind. Humanity desires meaning in the world. We always look for our purpose, but the universe oftentimes is very cold in response and doesn't really give us that closure or satisfaction. Oftentimes when looking at the universe, we are confronted with no definitive goal or meaning to our life, so we have to make our own as humanity. So should it matter if there is a meaning or not, and does it make us less human if there isn't? Should we change the way we live our lives? Should Sisyphus continue pushing the boulder if he's aware of the fact that he can't reach the top, or should he stop? It's an interesting question to bring up. And also, on the other hand, if there is a predetermined meaning or goal, does that almost deprive ourselves of our own choice to make our own purpose in life? If there's only one purpose or meaning, then it's almost as if we have no choice in our own life at all, and really we are just living a preset, determined life. So, recognizing and facing the absurdity. By Sisyphus recognizing his situation and being stripped of any greater meaning, he can perhaps find his own meaning in pushing the boulder. In this way, he sort of is rebelling or revolting against the idea or despair of a world with no meaning, and in fact choosing to push the boulder on his own desire. If he can find fulfillment in his own duty or desire to push the boulder, besides the fact that he can't reach the top, and instead enjoying the satisfaction of the journey and the struggle, then he can sort of find his own happiness and accept the reality of this absurd world. But unlike Sisyphus, if we use it as a metaphor for our own lives, we can find our own meaning or purpose in life, something that we enjoy regardless, and by believing it has meaning, we give it its own meaning to ourselves, not any predetermined meaning beyond our control. So metaphorically, we're pushing our own boulder. So, the story in this double-mind condition, I believe you can find happiness in the face of the absurd world. Despite the fact that, from an outside perspective, it may seem like he is in a punishment by having to push the boulder, Sisyphus can actually choose his own happiness. It does not change the reality of the situation. He still cannot escape no matter how he feels. But if he chooses to instead embrace his reality and choose to revolt against the despair of no meaning and instead find meaning in his own struggle, he can become happy. The struggle itself towards the heist is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. This is the ending quote of Albert Camus's essay, and it's really a symbol or symbolic of, I guess, human life, finding our own meaning and purpose, and finding something that makes us happy. So yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much. Very Do you have any comments or some kind of interesting questions? Okay. I actually have a question. Why you
Yes.
choose old Greek tale? You
It's-
like that?
Yeah, I've seen some recent videos talking about this myth. It's
Mhm.
become more popular within the past maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of times people use it as like a motivational story, where traditionally it was considered like a tragedy, but people instead can now see it as maybe there is meaning behind his life. We're traditionally seeing that Sisyphus has no meaning behind his punishment.
Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, it seems like for me, it reminds me a kind of the teaching of the Tao, you know, in the Chinese culture, a kind of the road, you know. If you find some kind of the road for yourself, it is your road actually,
Yes,
in a
yeah.
way. You know. So it's a very a kind of the abstract teaching about the life, but it's true actually, you know. Sometimes the Chinese philosophers are finding out that there is no meaning in the life, and but at the same time they actually it is depending on your own mind, you know, to judging it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We have many such a kind of very deep lessons about the Greek cultures and the myths. And okay, you, Morena-san, please come. So that's it. It's a one. Okay, this is the next. Any other persons? Any other persons? Okay. No? Okay, please come here. You will read?
Yes.
Only?
No, I have
You will, okay. Let me, yeah, please open here. I will, I'm not sure. Just another account. Yes, login. Yes. And another account. Okay.